everybody. This is Zeidoktor, and with me today is Typical Manga Fan as we start our Typical Manga review of Bleach Chapter 610, Mausoleum of Skulls. Sorry if my voice is a little raspy here today, by the way. I'm just kind of coming off a cold, sore throat sort of thing. But like I said, not letting us stop us from getting the job done, at least. Not if we can help it. So anyway, This chapter, Oswald's pretty much doing the explaining for us. With Yawak basically always fighting with closed eyes. We actually see him with open eyes on this in the little panel there.
Yeah, exactly. See, here's the thing: is he talking figuratively or literally?
Little of both. Because as we go through the changes, you'll see how his eyes look. Because his normal eyes aren't the ones that are closed.
Yeah. Because I feel like if Kubo was planning this from a long way back, that he would have actually made Yawak actually close his eyes to make it seem like Kubo's more smarter than he is. I think a lot of people feel like because the eyes would never technically close like all the way, even if he meant it figuratively, that we feel like Kubo kind of pulled this out of his ass. It kind of feels like that way, like this ability.
A little bit, but I think the presentation kind of makes up for it.
Yeah. Well, the presentation. Well, his eye. The presentation looks weird. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're getting what took me a little while to realize something about flashback here. Is pretty much we have Oswald pretty much telling Uryu about all this.
How should he just shut up? He's like Zetsu at this point.
Yeah. Basically, like I said, the way he explained here, like the sealed king of the Quincy's will regain his pulse after 900 years, regain his intellect after 90 years. Regain his power after 9 years. If those eyes happen to be opened within the 9 years for power, His Majesty will lose control over the power of his letter A, and the abilities of a Stern Ritter may well be all but taken. So
basically, it turns out, had he used this ability before during the 9 years, then everything would have been all for naught. Then all the Quincy's will lose their powers. But the fact that he can use his abilities now means that that 9 years time frame is done. Although that also kind of means it's kind of bullshit that it ends at the moment he fights Ichibei. It's kind of weird.
Well, Ichibei's Bankai was a trigger, baby. He brought out his Bankai that meant time to lose. Or time to win.
It just feels so stupid that it just feels kind of stupid that. Of course, it would end the moment he fights a guy who could actually beat him. Jeez, and you know what's really more annoying is that that means that the entire time he hasn't been using his ability. Meaning he's just been Aizen in terms of planning everything ahead without this ability. So was he Super Aizen now? The hell?
Well, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, that presentation-wise, like I said, what makes up for it is the way they now give him like multiple pupils in one eye. Like I said, that's kind of freaky.
It is freaky, but it's kind of like it's just kind of weird. I feel like if this is the case, I feel like in the anime they can just make his eyes like yellow or something, like his pupils. Yeah. Having that be like kind of freaky kind of takes away the godlike aspect of it, It just makes it look.
I disagree. I mean, like it's different from what you normally see, so I like it.
I feel like it's the type of thing you see out of a minion, not of a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's just really weird. It's just weird. Not.
Well, I said, for me, weirdness is good. I like it when it's weird or it's something you don't see all the time.
Yeah, I think the eye thing is just never worked with me. I've seen it done before, and it just never worked with me, except for Yu-Gi-Oh with Thousand Eyes restrict whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Other than that, it just.
Of course, that thing was all eyes, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's exactly why it worked. So basically, Yawak is basically bragging about himself, and Ichibei is sweating his ass off with the sign behind him.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? Now I can see into the future. So for now, I can understand. And so all the abilities that I know will become my allies. And you can't beat me. I am the Almighty. That's basically what he's saying. And then Ichibei says, "You're gonna beat me? You're gonna beat me? No way!" And with this really huge ass panel of him just being normal, like the way he, giving that
with his own creepy eyes.
Yeah, creepy eyes. Showing that he's still crazy, psycho. And he's still saying, you know what? You're still powerless against me, and don't forget that everything that's black belongs to me. Because
and you're draped in it still.
Yeah, of course it's not gonna work.
Of course not.
And he's using this ability, so he does this chant, and all the ink kind of comes together. I'm not gonna say what the chant is, but you guys can read that. Blah blah blah, chant. It's basically appetizers for drinking sake. That's basically what it is. It's a part of the ritual, I guess, in Buddha and Buddhism and all that stuff. And it creates it kind of reminds me of Black Coffin, the Hado number 90 Black Coffin. It's Futen Daisa Daisatsu. What it basically is, what it basically is that it prevents reincarnation. If it kills you, you know.
Oh yeah, that's his big explanation of what the spell basically is. There, yeah.
Yeah, because it makes sense because in Buddhism you reincarnate. So it would make sense that he can use an ability that has to do with reincarnation. But it's kind of interesting. He said I stole 100 nights from the Soul Society of 100 years in the future to make this. So that means 100 years from now, everyone would be like 100 days. 100 days, just 100 days of pure, just sunlight. It's like, damn it, Ichibei.
You could have at least told us which 100 nights are going to do this.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, did he say if he stole them all in a row? Like it'd be like 100 days of straight daytime.
You might as well just get it over with. Get it over with. Because 100 days is actually not that long if you think about it.
Yeah, it's about just over 3 months.
Yeah, I'm sure they can just stay indoors and sleep.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. Blah 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 blah. He's just saying, "Oh well, I'm gonna, the very black you're enveloped will be sucked away." Blah 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 blah.
And then towards the end of it, Yelwalk channels Joseph Joestar, as he pretty much says what Ichibei is saying at the exact moment he says it. You enjoy your descent into a pitch black hell. Yeah, that's like I said, you don't know JoJo, but basically that's like the second one, Joseph. That was his big thing. Like he would pretty much predict the next thing his opponent was about to say, and they would almost always say it. It's one of the, there's like a whole little montage of that on YouTube you can find. Anyway, and that just freaks out Ichibei because like I should have already mentioned that I'm all seeing. Maybe could I forgotten? I don't know. Omniscience makes you forgetful.
Everything I see, he basically says everything I see is powerless before me. Blah 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 blah. More bragging.
Yep.
My name is Yuak, the one who shall take everything from you. So basically he's bragging more and more, and then he blows Ichibei apart with his eyes.
We pretty much spent an entire chapter to wind up in exactly the same place the last chapter ended.
Yeah.
With Ichibei's getting...
know what it. Yeah.
I mean, there's some cool stuff kind of in the middle there. Like I said, I like the eyes. I like the freaky eyes. But yeah, we pretty much just are in exactly the same place we started.
Yeah. See, the issue is that now the only difference is that now we know how his abilities work.
Right.
But more specifically, but it still doesn't. It doesn't do any. I just feel like Kubo's really trying to stretch as much as he can.
Well, if I never believed it of you before, I would have after this. And I didn't really... I kind of did believe you before, so it's still about the same.
Well, I mean, it was obvious to begin with. I mean...
Yeah. But this one just kind of clinches it. Like, makes it really obvious. Like, undeniably obvious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole Rukia thing actually was kind of stretched out.
The whole... What, her fight with Stefan Reich?
Yeah, with Asno.
Okay,
that was pretty stretched out. But so looking back on this chapter, you know what? We all know this was gonna happen. I just kind of felt at this point, I just wanted to get it over with, Just be done with it. We know what's gonna happen now. Just get Ichigo on the field. And you know what? I'm gonna predict right now that we're gonna have an off-screen. The other royal guards get beaten up, so then we see them just dead.
Ichigo arrives and they're all on the ground.
Yeah, or dead. Yeah, either unconscious or dead. I'm saying dead.
Yeah, on the ground. I mean, it could go either way there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. The problem is Orihime can resurrect them, right? But if they're beaten by Quincy's, doesn't that mean that their souls kind of get destroyed anyway?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure how... Would that matter to Orihime's power, though? Because it didn't Yuak make a point of destroying Yamamoto completely? His body entirely? For exactly that reason?
Well, but remember that Hachi stated that to Orihime that she can resurrect people without a trace of their body. So but I don't know, it might be different because even with other people, because doing with the Quincy is different. Remember, they have this special power that just eliminates souls from existence.
Right, that was the whole problem with them in the first place, back when they were first introduced.
Yeah. But Kubo, being the way he is, can probably he can make up any type of logic and go either way.
Yeah, well, like I said, he'll just do whatever he wants and then whatever.
He could just say, "Oh, Orihime is the exception," or "Orihime is not the exception."
Yeah.
So that's kind of I don't even know what to say about the chapter other than that,
Yeah.
whatever. It's
Like
a big whatever chapter.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of moving along there. Like I said, there are some cool parts in there. Like, even though it's another case of the big panels wasting space, I do like the part where it's like, "My name is Yoak," like the big old recent top half of him there. And I do like the art on that one. And the mausoleum part is pretty cool too.
I'm gonna. I wonder. I wonder if he's gonna ever come. I wonder if he's ever gonna go back to what he looked like 1,000 years ago, or maybe before when he looked young. Because it'd be really weird to see that.
Weird, but I don't think I don't expect it just because there's really no point to it.
Well, that's why I thought of Full Metal Alchemist with Father, but that's what he did.
Yeah, true.
So, and I think it'd just be really weird just to see if we see like the manifestation of Ichigo's Quincy powers actually come out, because it's done that before, with the Bankai training.
Yeah.
If it comes out and just looks Yobak in the face and see how, I just want to see that, and see how they talk to each other. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, it would be awesome.
That I could see. Like Ichigo gets like knocked out some point during the fight, and then he comes out.
And then Yobak would either be like, I knew you were in there, or who the hell are you, or what's going on, or
Yeah.
I feel like he would know, like because he seems like he knows everything.
Actually, you know what? That could be why Ichigo's so dangerous to him. Like Ichigo's like such a mix of everything. There's a very high chance of something he's not expecting could come out of that, even with the Almighty involved.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind. Well, actually, I wonder. Does that? I wonder if, because it's a manifestation of Yobak, if he has any of the same abilities.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah, because this is basically a good Yobak, right? This is the one that's on Ichigo's side.
Yeah, of course, Ichigo's side is compared to our side.
Yeah, that's why I made specifically sure to say Ichigo's side, not our side. Because I remember he said like he was actually working against Ichigo in the beginning to make sure that Ichigo didn't die, but at the same time not giving really a shit about everything else.
Right.
And remember when Ichigo's powers, when he tried to get the final Getsuga Tensho, he said, "Yeah, no, my goal isn't the same as your goal. My goal isn't to protect everyone. My goal is to protect you, basically."
Yep.
I will say though, I'm curious to see if that Yobak comes out, because it would be pretty awesome if they fight. That'd be even better. I think them fighting might not happen, but I think them talking is definitely just as interesting. Just seeing the interaction between, it's just like looking at yourself in the mirror from 1,000 years ago and just be like, what the hell? Because remember,
good.
Remember, he looked better. I really did look better back then, especially with his glasses. I'm just like, now that I think about it, I was like, what was him with the glasses? Like, why did he wear that in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe it has to do with keeping his eyes closed. Maybe it wasn't like an early option for it.
Yeah, well, because we don't know how powerful he was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Because he got beat 1,000 years ago. Remember that?
Yeah, true.
But I will say this though, that it would definitely be a great type of plot twist or plot device, whatever, to have that happen. And because I just want to see how it all turns out with that. Yobak. The thing is though, like I wonder how the other Quincy's would look at it, because they treat Yobak as this holy god. So if they see another holy god come out from a Shinigami, wouldn't they just be like, "What the frick?"
That they would deny it altogether. Yeah,
because I remember they talk about this as his Majesty is God and everything, right? But then if this one so-called Shinigami comes up and just manifests what they thought to be, another person who's basically their god as well, I just want to see their reaction. I just want to know what they would say, because there's so many ways you can go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, not much to say about this chapter.
Yeah, I do like some of the things that were, like I said, you don't like it, but I do like the eyes. I thought it was like a weird, cool little touch. But yeah, pretty much this was a foregone conclusion, and we pretty much just wind up at the exact same space we started, only with less in the middle, ironically enough, for Ichibei.
With the eyes thing, I preferred something like this, the way they did with Naruto, where they keep the pupils the same, but they keep everything the same. They just change the color of the pupils, or not the pupils, the irises.
Yeah.
Like the Rinnegan is pretty cool. Like the Rinnegan, I think was pretty cool. I think the Sharingan is pretty cool, and I even think the Byakugan's cool. I just don't think this is cool.
I'd say that here I'm going to disagree though, because I do like the added touch of that. It's different. That's something that's different than usual will usually attract my attention.
I think the issue is that it doesn't seem godly for a guy who wants to basically try to have a godly demeanor, the godly aura around him, about him. It doesn't seem godly. It just seems creepy.
Well, God's gonna be creepy too.
But not yet. Like I think that's the plot twist. I think that everyone's supposed to see him as this very pure god. But in the end, if he was like this, in his like true final form, then it would make sense. I just think at this point it just doesn't make sense for me. But yeah, okay. So I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna. Yeah, so like I said, that's been our review of Bleach Chapter 610, Mausoleum of Skulls. Along with this one, we'll be recording our review of One Piece, Chapter 771. That'll be coming up right after this. They'll be posted together, like usual. In the meantime, anyone who's watching, you have a good rest of your time, and thanks for listening.
I would also like to note that the next weeks will be Christmas and New Year's, so there will not be any Bleach. At least, I know not for next week. I think for maybe 2 weeks. I think we have a 2-week break.
Yeah, because of Christmas, New Year's here. We'll probably figure out something to put in the middle of it there. Like,
yeah.
There's like a new episode of Bee and Puppy Cat I mentioned to you earlier. Like,
we'll probably do that, yeah.
Well, we'll find something.
And maybe talk about Kami Got Kill. Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Because that as of this recording, that came up with Chapter 55, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
Take it away.
Bye!